kind of use photography as a way to, as a self-discovery, in going deep in a very psychological way of going inside me, and also bringing out elements of myself that maybe I never questioned. So it's more like questioning my own identity in all sorts of ways, maybe even through history, or through maybe family stories, or pictures. And I kind of get like inspiration from everywhere, and I use it to explore my own identity.
Audio Jungle.
I have a question for you. If you went to Nigeria you're an artist and you have your work, don't you think you might have a little leg up because you're Italian?
But probably, but I think also, I do think, and I think this is a conversation I have with friends. I do think though, you're most likely to succeed over there. But at the same time, who is controlling the art world in Africa? Who are we doing the artwork for? Who is consuming our art? So you may succeed, but in a way, there's a price you have to pay for doing that. You need to somehow do works that pleases them, who
But
the Europeans.
is that any different in London or in Rome? I mean, yeah, is that really
I
different?
do think
Lagos, London, or Rome?
I do think here people, in a way, I think artists are allowed to express more freely. You don't have to copy, I don't know, Picasso to become a great artist. You don't have there's not like, I don't know, there's not like a set in there's no fashion. Everyone's work is different. People who do landscape, people who do like I don't know, like very conceptual work, people who do all sorts of things, like they strive in their own field. But I think this is what I feel though. This is my perspective. I may be right or wrong, but the feeling that I have in the African art industry is that I think there's a certain element that collectors and art galleries are looking for. Like you need to do that specific work for you to try, because because it's so African in a way, that's to represent Africa. So like they want it to be more, like, I would say, how would I say it? It's more
like stereotypically African work rather than an
exotic.
African work.
It's more exotic.
Right.
And that's what I feel. And you can still strive. I still feel like there's artists who are actually doing amazing stuff, who are doing different stuff. They're not doing like what other people are doing. But I still feel like there's a huge presence, for them, for you to strive in, you need to do certain work that fits that criteria in a way. So, and that's why I question, who are we making work for? Like who's consuming our art? Who's consuming our work?
I think there are 2 points there. If I look at Uganda, which is where my background is, and the art scene there is just popping. I haven't been back for a while, but all I see, even on social media, it's less about trying to please the Western curators. It seems more, it's very much a pride in identity, and then finding a way to express that in sometimes very beautiful ways. So there's a mixture. I think there's still that element of, I will be the African artist because I understand what is wanted, and that sells, but it's more touristy stuff. But the real artists, like conceptual wise, and all, are being born, and they're in their 20s and they're in their 30s, and I think that it's there. I think there's space for that in a different way than working in Europe.
No, I do agree there's space for them. No, I do agree. But, I see also that danger, when people create stuff just to please, the white gaze. And I know that there's artists who are really doing very well, who are doing completely different stuff and they're doing amazing. So I think there's like, it's kind of, it's still there, like, which is like, it's still there. But I think, for you to succeed, you need to really break that chain, and for you to do something very provocative. And also, like, with the thing with East African artists, I don't, for example, know most of East African artists. The thing I know most is West Africans and also South Africans, which I feel is really unfair, because then I don't hear the voice of someone who is from East Africa or someone who is from North Africa. And that's what I'm saying. I think, like, there's this thing of like, oh, West African arts really sells and South African art really sells, but I'm just like, what about the East Africans? They're always the one always left out. So this is what I'm saying, that, you know, I know, like, obviously, I know there's people who are trying to break that chain, but I think we need more artists in who's kind of like going in and just say, okay, we're going to neglect this bit. I'm going to do what we're going to do. Like, we want to do what we want to do.
And when it comes to your own work, your photography and your film, how does that combine with your identity?
So I started off as doing fashion and also documentary, and it was more like for me, photography has been a journey, and I've always loved taking pictures of people, especially portraiture, because I was more interested, you know, in what they're really thinking inside, in like what are they really thinking, you know, I'm going to somehow go dive deep. But then I think 2 years ago when I decided to do my MA, and I was kind of like looking on work, what I wanted to do and doing research. You know, something bad really happened to me. So in a way, I wanted to use photography as a way to express, you know, that thing that happened. And I decided to shift the camera towards myself and also like question myself as a person, question myself as a woman, and, you know, discover that I don't really know much about myself. So, you know, I kind of use photography as a way to, as a self-discovery, in going deep in a very psychological way of going inside me and also bringing out elements of myself that maybe I never questioned. So it's more like questioning my own identity in all sorts of ways, maybe even through history or through maybe family stories or, you know, pictures. And I kind of get like inspiration from everywhere, and I use it to explore my own identity.
I think when we spoke the first time, we talked a little bit about the Nigerian heritage and discovering more about that. So, how does that inform your understanding of what it means to be a black woman, to be a woman of African heritage living in Europe? Where does that, going back, help you understand yourself now?
Um, I think it does really help because, you know, like, I'm quite lucky that my dad has been very, like, he's been always telling us stories about like my grandparents, like great grandparents, you know, what it used to be like living in Nigeria. And it kind of really helped me really understand who I am as a person. And also like discovering stories from my grandmother and my great grandmother, like what they did, what they achieved, you know. The stories really helped me understand me much better, like, you know, what they've gone through, what they had to do, you know, like what it used to be like, you know, living those times as a woman. Also because the last project I did, I want to kind of dive in of knowing what it used to be like living before colonialism, and how, like, you know, women were very, in a way, free than now, like than what they are now. Is like they could do things that, you know, now they cannot do anymore because of religion. And discovered that certain elements, for example, my great grandmother got married to a woman, but now that thing is not, can it's still there, but, you know, because my parents, like my family's are Christians, that thing is not practiced anymore because that goes against, like, you know, the Christian ideology. But knowing that, you know, my great grandmother married to a woman, it's not even just for like a symbolic way, and that woman could do whatever she wanted to do already. That I'm just like, wow, like she had, you know, this power, and she was doing very well. She divorced and then got married, but now it's just all those things. For example, my parents, now they're Christians, you know, for them, they don't practice those things anymore. But it's just, maybe it makes me understand myself better, you know, or certain choices I do now, you know, and kind of allow myself to make those choices, because I don't want to be part of, I don't know, like, I feel like, even though I see myself I'll see myself as a spiritual, the more than religious person. I feel like religion, it's good and bad in some ways, but I do feel like, you know, there's so many things that have been, you know, kind of destroyed because of religion, like certain traditions, and which I don't think it should be destroyed. I think it should be like joined. And it's more like kind of going back in time and kind of reclaiming, those things we used to do. And it's through the stories of my great grandparents and grandparents, and that really helped me understanding myself better.
Yeah, because when I look at religion, I think there are running themes in all of them, and I think the positive sides of all religion are very good.
Yeah.
But I think religion has been used once again to divide people, to take power from people, to actually end people's lives.
Yeah.
So that's where I also hesitate to join anything in particular that is not based on just fundamental freedom, decency, and humanity.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do think, for example, like Christianity, the way is in the US, they use the Bible as a way to justify slavery. Is
Was it the
humans?
first
It's
slave
not.
ship called Jesus? Is that
It's like
something very twisted like that, with the flags and everything? So
yeah. I just think like it's again it's like how people misuse certain things for their own benefit, and they use religion to misuse a lot of things, where I just I don't want to be part of that. I just feel like everyone should be kind of free to do what they want. And I think we need to embrace all sort of things, like maybe I'm not saying that for example, like I'm not saying that pre-colonial Africa was amazing. It wasn't, but it has its good and bad things, and I think we have to really embrace those things and not forget the past.
I think for me, the more I research history and ancient African history in particular, my pet subject, still learning a lot about it, but it feels like even when I look at Christianity, the themes go back, and I see them in ancient Egypt and mythology.
Yeah.
It's the same imagery. It feels like a photocopy upon photocopy upon photocopy, with name changes and space changes, but the same story over and over again.
Yeah.
So, but I do question what the continent would have been like before colonialism. And what it would be like if it hadn't happened. I do have those moments of wonder.
I do question myself as well. Like, I do question what would it be like, if colonialism never happened. Like,
you probably wouldn't be speaking Italian, and I probably wouldn't be speaking English.
No, I don't think we will be here. I don't think we'll be here either.
On a beach somewhere, chilling, eating organic food, listening to the drum rhythms. Oh my. All right, no, back to reality. So, let's see what other questions I have for you. Oh, I wanted to talk about, a little bit more about your artwork, the photography and your films. I had a look at one of your films where you're in place, and it's just one film that you have on your website. And I wanted to talk a bit about why you use yourself in the frame. Is that part of your unpacking of identity, to utilize your own body?
The video was really done kind of randomly, but like the videos were really done like in different time spaces, like different times. And I think one was done earlier before I even started questioning my own self. But I think because whenever people see my work, everyone say that, oh, like they can kind of see traces of, me questioning my own identity. But I think it's more like the way I see using videos is more like the way I see myself is I'm the subject, and I'm kind of the person taking the video, but I'm also the subject. So I'm two people just taking that thing. So that's how I see myself whenever I'm taking images or videos. So it's more like, okay, I'm the photographer, but I'm also the subject. So I think that's how I connect myself.
It's one.
Yeah.
You're both questioning, and you're both the questioner and the questioner. Yeah, I get you.
And I guess it's like more like also people always question if there's another person in the room, and I do it on purpose. So like, it's like more I'm looking at someone, but they don't know who.
Yes, that's the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Off frame.
Yeah, so it's more like, okay, who actually took the photograph or who actually took the video? And I don't leave it like, wait. So it's more like, was this another person in that room or was it just me? So
nice. So tell us, what have you got coming up in case somebody wants to check out your work, or yeah, just follow you and keep up with your work.
I don't have anything at the moment, but you can check my work on my website. And I think there's like I've been featured in a magazine, which there's a link on my website as well, so you can have a look. And if you want to keep in touch, there's also Instagram. But at the moment, I have nothing coming. I'm just waiting till next time because of COVID. So, but planning to work on new projects. So we'll see how it goes.
So I'd like just one statement, just to the audience. I'm hoping that there'll be some young people who could be inspired by you.
Ciao a tutti, questo qui è un video dedicato a tutti i giovani in Italia, figli di genitori stranieri. È un messaggio dedicato specialmente alla crisi di identità. Spero che, so che comunque qualcuno di voi avrà questo problema di crisi e incoraggio a tutti quanti di in qualche modo abbracciare le vostre due nazionalità, sia quella italiana che quella d'origine. Perché dico di abbracciare tutte e due? Perché è importante che credo che anche se vi considerate italiane, però di considerare anche che voi venite da un paese o i vostri genitori vengono da un paese, di anche fare le vostre ricerche da dove provenite veramente, che vi aiuta veramente a capire in più profondità chi siete veramente. Di non abbandonare la vostra cultura d'origine per abbracciare solamente quella italiana, però di abbracciare tutte e due, sia quello d'origine che quella italiana.
Please like and subscribe. Shout out Hues Films.